quick intro. Just make it really quick when I put it over to you. Well, hi there, folks. Welcome back to another workshop. This is in a series of workshops that we're doing about LearnDash, a great learning management system platform plugin on WordPress. If you're looking to build a membership website and have all the bells and whistles for your students, LearnDash is a great choice. I've got my colleague here, Haroon. He's part of the WP-Tonic team. Haroon, can you just give a really quick intro about yourself, and I will then tell those that are viewing this video what we're going to be covering, but can you give a quick intro first?
Certainly. Thank you, Jonathan. Hello, everyone. This is Haroon, and I've been working in the tech industry for over a couple of decades and with WordPress for around a decade and a half now. And my specialty is dealing with e-learning systems and e-commerce systems, marketing automation, and tying all of it together.
Yeah, that's great. And if you want to know more about Haroon, his LinkedIn link will be in the supporting show notes. What are we going to be covering in this particular workshop? Well, you need to watch the last one, part 3. We basically in that one showed how you can custom the course grid layout if you've got more than one course. And also we showed you how you could alter the lesson layout. We're using Elementor in these series of workshops, WordPress with Elementor, and we're utilizing one of the template kits that are available if you're utilizing Elementor Pro. All the plugins and tools that we will be showing you, they are totally available if you host your LearnDash website on the WP-Tonic platform. But you can also buy them yourself, and to some extent, much of what we're showing you is free anyway. So in this, we're going to finish off what we showed you in the last workshop. Plus, we're going to be showing you how you can customize your login page that your students utilize to get into your course, and also how you can customize the dashboard, the student dashboard that LearnDash provides, how you can customize that. That's about right, isn't it, Haroon? Haroon, can you hear me?
Yes, your voice started breaking up for a little bit, but now I can hear you.
Oh, we can't have that, can we? Are you going to share your screen, and we'll go straight into it?
Certainly, sounds good. All right, so let me share my screen.
Like I say, it's we're going to do a bit of a dive. There we go. Exactly. Add to stream. If it will let me. It has. And just to finish off, the next workshop, we're going to be doing a bit of a dive about using LearnDash with WooCommerce and cart flows. The combination of those three means that you'll be able to link your payments with any gateway provider that WooCommerce will work with. Plus, you'll be able to sell upsells, downsells, one-page checkout, a really modern checkout shopping cart environment. That's what we're going to be covering in our next workshop. So less of me now, and I'm just going to throw it over to Haroon. Over to you, Haroon.
Thank you, Jonathan. So this is what we had built last week, and we had a custom grid on this page, which was using Elementor's post grid widget, and we just used it to display courses. And if we go to the course archive, which should be at the site's URL/courses, that would still probably not be really optimized because we haven't really optimized this one. So today we're quickly going to optimize this course archive using Elementor's templates, and then we are also going to quickly customize the single course view of one of these courses. Let's open this UX design one. So this is the single course view right now. As you can see, it isn't exactly too impressive. So using Elementor, we're going to try to make this look as good as we possibly can. So let's get on with it. First, let's take a look at the courses page, the courses archive page. So this is the page created by default by LearnDash, and it lists all of the courses that you offer on your site. So for this, we are going to go to the template section of Elementor, and we're gonna go to Theme Builder.
And by the way,
And
folks, I know you
in the
can
Theme
see.
Builder, we are going to select one of these site paths over here. So we do have some already available over here: LearnDash single course, LearnDash single topic, single quiz, single lesson. And we are actually not going to go with the singles yet. We are going to go with creating a new one for archive. And we're going to click Add New. This would be our courses archive page. There are lots of advanced things you can do with third-party filtration systems. For example, there's Search and Filters Pro, and then there's another filter plugin by Crocoblock. It's called Jet Smart Filters. So we can utilize those to have advanced filters, the way you see product filters on e-commerce sites or course filters on certain types of e-learning sites. We can do that, but that's going to take us in a whole different direction. So
You can tell Haroon's a bit of a techie. Yeah, we need to keep this. We will be covering those in other workshops, but for this particular group, we're covering if you're the beginner to WordPress, LearnDash, and you want the quickest way of getting something up that's semi-professional.
Yes, absolutely. So that's what we're going to do. So over here, we've got a blank canvas here. And before we do anything else, we're going to click this small up arrow next to publish, and we're going to set our display conditions. So we want this template to display, we click add condition, we want it to display when the archive is the course archive. So we select the course archive and we save and close. You can do something similar with course category archives and course tag archives, but we're not getting into that. We're just giving you an idea of how to start off, and then you take it from there. You can customize your category archives, your tag archives, any archives you want. So let's keep it simple. First, add a heading and make it center aligned. Let's call this courses. Update. And I'm going to show you the progress as well. So now if we refresh this courses page, we're going to see it has nothing but that courses heading that we just added. So now we are going to add our nice course grid over here. In fact, I have an idea. Why reinvent the wheel when I can just edit the page that I had already built with Elementor? This was the home page. So I'm going to just click edit with Elementor on the home page. But that was the posts widget that we had used. Over here, we're going to have to use the post archives widget so that it automatically shows all posts in the archive of courses. So we're going to drag and drop the archive post widget over here while the home page is opening in Elementor. We're just going to copy the styling from that widget so that we don't have to do the whole styling all over again. And let's select the skin of cards over here instead of classic, because on this sort of a red background, a card-based layout would look prettier, I think. And 3 columns is fine. I'm not going to show the excerpt, and I'm not going to show the date and comments. And there's no need to show the read more link or the author avatar. And as for the course title, yeah, we probably need to change its color first and foremost, because it's white on white. That doesn't work well. So we're going to select maybe our pink, or no, pink doesn't look great. Let's just go with this nice blue color over here. Yeah, I think this shall do, and its typography should probably be way smaller, 24, or maybe 28. And actually, let's make it 20. No, 24 is fine. Yeah, and we should reduce its line height to probably 24 or 28. Yeah, that's better. And what else we can do over here is maybe center everything. And next, we are going to select the, go back to content. Yeah, it seems we have to restyle it altogether. And in the advanced section, sorry, in the pagination section, we can specify what sort of pagination we want, what sort of page limit we want. We don't want any page limit. We want these to extend to pretty much any number of courses that we may have in this archive. Let's update and just take a look in the front end, see how it looks now. And okay, so we hadn't used the card layout. Yeah, we had used the classic layout, my bad. I'm just going to copy this widget and paste its style after changing the layout to classic. Let's paste the style of that widget that we had customized last time. Paste style. And then we can hide whatever we don't need, like we don't need excerpt, we don't need the read more, and we don't need date and comments. Just our courses and their titles shall do. We're going to have to make it center aligned again. And there was one more thing that we had done over here. I think the heading style was different from here. Let's see. The content headings are a bit too big. So let's just reset the headings. And what typography did we use for headings over here? Let's quickly take a look. In content, 32 pixels. Okay, so let's use 32 pixels for our headings. And let's update and take a look at our courses page. And now we should have our nice looking course grid over here. Since we only have 6, there's no pagination going on right now, but I can just show you a quick preview of pagination by changing to Actually, no, to do that, I'm going to have to go into WordPress settings and change the number of posts that are shown on a single page. So let's just not get into that. But if there are more posts than what are shown over here, there's going to be, like over here, we have 6 posts only. So that's why there's no pagination below. But if we had more posts than a single page could fit, then you'd have more over here. And in fact, it's important to show you one thing in that regard. Let's go open the dashboard in a new tab. So the number of courses that are going to show up over here is going to be what's set over here in settings and reading. There's a setting for the number of posts to show in an archive by default. By default, it's set to 10, but generally when we set up grids that are three items wide, we set it to a multiple of 3. So you could have 9 or you could have 12. And if you had a 4-item wide grid, you would set it to a multiple of 4. So generally 9 is a good idea for a grid that has 3 columns. All right, so this is decent enough. You can customize it to your heart's content if you want. But for now, we are going to close this and actually focus on one of the courses that we have open over here. We're going to make this look a bit better. And for that, we have to go back to the theme builder. Actually, we're going to exit to dashboard. And we're going to customize the single view of courses, lessons, and topics. So I'm going to call this template courses archive, or just courses. I think courses archive would do. And then let's go back to, oh, I forgot to change one thing. We probably want to set this to Elementor full width, as we had done previously when we were building the page. Now let's go to, you can experiment with these templates and see what they do. There's default, there's Elementor canvas, Elementor full width, and theme. You can see what these templates do. The theme one would entirely be dependent on the exact theme that you're using. So let's go back to the theme builder. So we've built the archive. Now we want to focus on the single view. And for single view, we're going to start with single course. And then we have to do the same with single lesson, single topic. So over here, we should have a single course already. But I think it's not published. It might be in draft mode. Yeah. Let's start off with this. I'm going to open it in new tab so that we continue to have this view available. It's saying page not found for some reason. That's odd. Let's just create a new one. Let's forget about these. Let's create a new one for single course. And over here, we can start building the single course view. And we've got the course progress tracker. We can add the course title first and foremost. Let's add the course title. Let's center align it. And let's add the featured image right below it. Oops, I added to a new section. Sorry, let me minimize the number of sections I'm using, because the more sections you have, the more redundant HTML you have, and you probably don't want that. And so here's the featured image. I can set it to set its dimensions, and you probably want to use the medium size. We can even have a 2-column view with the image on one side and the title on the other side, but for now, it's just for demonstration purposes. In fact, let's do a 2-column view. I'm gonna add another column, and let's keep the title and descriptions on one side and the course featured image on the other side. Maybe for this column, we want the vertical alignment to be middle. And then let's go back to the widgets grid and add the course excerpt over here. Just the description of the course that we had created. And then we need the post content over here, and also the progress tracker over here. That's gonna give us sort of the track bar of how long we've come, this bar at the top. And let's publish it and see how different it is from this raw view. And we might need to do some small modifications, maybe put it all on a white background, give it a nice shadow so that it stands out from the red. Let's refresh it. Oh, we haven't actually applied the conditions yet. So we are going to come to the display conditions, add condition. And instead of all singular, we have to make sure that it's for courses. So courses, this is going to be for basically all courses. Yeah. All courses, save and close. Let me give it a nice name instead of Elementor single #366. So this would be course single, and update it. Oh, and one thing that I often forget, page layout should be Elementor full width. Update. Now let's reload this. And you can already see that it has started to take a bit of shape over here. And there's the progress bar. There's so the progress bar is showing up separately as well as with the content. So we can get rid of this separate progress bar actually, yeah, because it's showing up with the content anyway. So let's get rid of that. And let's give all of this, let's put all of this on a background. So let's actually give this section, or we're going to probably have to do the background column by column. Yeah, we're going to have to give the background column by column in this case. But there are multiple ways to style this. So I'm going to just give a white background to the column, or maybe not to this top area, yeah, only to the content at the bottom. Let's get rid of this. And let's give this column, in which we have all our course content, a background of pale gray. And maybe we want to do some other customization, like border radius. Yeah, we want to give it a nice drop shadow and a border. So let's go to here are the border settings. So let's go to border, maybe add a border radius of 4 and give it a box shadow. Let's just go with whatever default box shadow settings we have for now. Maybe give it a border radius of 8. Update. Now if we take a look at this, things are going to be a little more easy to read, but we still have these bits where some of the content is not showing up in the right color. So I'm just quickly going to fix that in typography. I'm going to set the heading color to maybe dark gray element, and the text color to black element, link color to this pink element, and link hover color to this red, and update. And now let's take a look. Oh, and we're probably gonna give it some padding as well. That's also important because we don't want all our content to be too close to all of these borders. That's odd. This isn't applying, all of this styling isn't applying. Have I selected the right widget? Let's select this widget. Yeah, let's do it at the widget level. Oh, yeah, this typography is, these colors are set at the widget level. We're gonna have to remove this, reset, or reset it to that black element or dark gray element. Update. Yeah, now the text has updated, but some of the headings. So at times you have to do a bit of back and forth to make sure that everything is in the right color. Now we need to give this column some breathing room. So we're going to go to advanced, and in padding, we want to maybe add 40 pixels all around, or maybe 20 pixels all around. Let's try with 20 and see if that's enough. Yeah, 20 looks fine. Actually, let's unlink these values and give 40 at the top and 40 at the bottom and 20 on each side. So you see things are sort of starting to look better than what we had, which was just text spread out on a red background. And in this way, you can completely customize. You can go through customizing all of these aspects. In some cases, you might need to use some custom CSS, but overall, this is how you're going to have to customize your course view. And now I'm not going to actually go ahead and do this for the lessons and topics because that's going to take over this entire session. But the exact thing that we've done with courses, you're going to have to do with lessons, and add all of this content on a white background so that it shows up better than what it's looking right here. And the method is exactly going to be same, except that instead of creating a single template for a course, you're going to have to create a single template for the lesson, and you're going to have to create another single template for topics and another single template for quizzes. So the method is exactly the same. You can lay it out exactly the way you want. It's just going to apply to those lessons and topics. And then for display conditions for all of those, over here, we've selected include course. But for the lessons one, you're going to have to select include lessons. And for the topics one, you're going to have to select include topics over here. That's the only difference. So that's why I'm not going to go through all that redundant process over here. And this sums up the way of customizing a course view using Elementor. We've discussed the archive view, as well as the course's single view, lesson view, topic view, and quiz view. And now
I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
I think the main thing we got to get over is that we utilized a template kit for Elementor that wasn't designed for a membership. So this is why, but we also wanted to show you how to set up some templates and how you can custom things a lot more than if you're utilizing a SaaS-based solution like Kajabi. You've got full customization. But if you're utilizing a template kit that has been purposely designed for a membership site, in that template kit, the course grid template and the lesson should have been built out for you. So you don't have to do this level customization. We're just showing it to you so you're aware that you can literally do everything. But don't be intimidated I think that's the only problem with the way that we've done that, is that we might have given the impression that you've got to do this for every LearnDash website that you possibly would want to get set up. You don't. Would I be correct in about that, Haroon?
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
But we want you to do this to show you that it's customization, the ability, which you do have, don't you, Haroon? Where are we going to go? Because we're about 35 minutes in this. Do you quickly want to wrap this little bit up and show them about the login page and the dashboard?
Sorry, I lost you for a bit there.
All right. Do you want to go and show them about how to
Your audio is completely out for me. I can see you, and I just can't hear you.
All right. I don't know. I can hear you.
Yeah. Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
You want to get off those Bluetooths. So shall we show them about the login page and the student dashboard?
Certainly. Yeah. So for creating a login page, we're going to have to go to Pages and All Pages. And over here, we're just going to click Add New. It's taking its sweet time for some reason. That's odd. Let's refresh it. That's very odd because it isn't supposed to take this long to just add a new page.
Yeah, you've got to keep in mind, viewers, that we're utilizing stream capture here. We're using StreamYard, and it does slow down things a little bit because it's utilizing a lot of bandwidth. So do keep that in mind.
But even with StreamYard active, this is the first time that creating a new page has taken this long, because even for the whole Elementor to load, it didn't take that long.
No, I think you could probably got a caching thing going on, haven't you?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm just going to close this and go back to the dashboard.
Yeah.
There's no cache, and I'm going to go to Add New directly from the Pages view.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this just happens in seconds usually. Okay, let's call this login, and the only thing that
I think the other thing you got to explain, because you're just going into Gutenberg. Can you?
Yeah, I'm going to come to that.
All right.
So first, I'm just going to publish this with this LearnDash_login widget. This is just to show you that this is how the widget works. You don't need to be in Elementor. You can add this the shortcode, LearnDash login shortcode anywhere, and it's going to create a login widget, which it isn't doing here right now. It's supposed to, oh, wait, just a second. I need to check something before I do that. And we have to go to WordPress's settings. And make sure anyone can register, and the default user role would be subscriber. That's fine. Okay. And let's refresh this. That's very odd because this widget is supposed to work. Let's go to pages again. Let's just do it with Elementor. Oh, actually, we do need to enable LearnDash login and registrations. I just recalled. So we go to LearnDash settings. And over here, yes, this login and registration needs to be enabled. That's important. And this active template has to be LearnDash 3.0. You can't do this with legacy template, but this is the default one active. So there's no need to worry about that. Click Save. And now when we reload this, a login widget should appear over here. So that way you can create a login page. You can place this. Wait, that's very odd. Let's go to pages again. Let's just do this the Elementor way then. I've used that shortcode for login pages on like dozens of sites, but for some reason, right when you don't want things to crash or to not work, that's when they decide to not work. But let's just get rid of this. Let's edit this page with Elementor. And we don't have to use LearnDash login widget. We can use the native login widget in Elementor. But even in Elementor, there is a LearnDash login widget as well. Let's just get rid of one that we had added previously. And let's see if LearnDash login directly over here would work properly. It shows a login. So this one shows either a login button or a logout button. You can add it anywhere you want. And I'm also going to show you how to do it with Elementor's login widget, because that's a more robust way for many. So
is it the simplest?
Pardon?
Is it the simplest?
Yeah, this is the simplest because you can just click login or log out. This button shows you whatever your status is. Like it's going to show you a log out button. If you're logged out, it's going to show you a logged in button. In fact, let me open this in a new incognito window and show you this login page. So I'm logged out now in this incognito window, and it shows me a login button. And once this page fully loads, and it shows me this login and registration will pop up, which is offered by LearnDash. So this is LearnDash based. You can have your own logo over here. When you go to LearnDash settings, there are options to include your logo. You can change these colors and everything right from the LearnDash settings and the registration and login parts of those settings. But we're not going to get into that. I'm going to get rid of this. And I am going to add a login widget, this plain login widget, the one that doesn't say LearnDash login. Let's add that. Let's change the the page layout to Elementor full width, and add a title. Heading. Send, make it say login, and maybe change this widget's max width to something far less than what we have. Sorry. Advanced. Where's the positioning? Sorry. Responsive, no. Attributes. Transform, no. Yeah, width. Inline custom, let's give it a width of maybe 400 pixels. Or actually 240 pixels maybe, or 300 pixels. Yeah, 300 looks fine. Update, and make everything in this column horizontally aligned to the center. Update. You can style it the way you want by selecting this widget, going to the style, choosing the typography and everything. You can give it a quickly give it a background, in fact. Advanced background. Let's give it a plain white background or pale gray background, and a border radius of 8 pixels and a nice box shadow. And then give it some padding so that the in there, maybe 20 pixels all around, and change its typography to from white to this black. And we're looking good, I think.
Yeah.
Now we reload this. And since I'm logged in, I'm not going to see this. We want to show something else for logged in users. And that's very easily done as well. So for logged in users, we can show a logged in message. I'm going to change its color to black as well. And in content, under additional options, or somewhere, we can customize logged in message as well, or we can just show or hide the logged in message. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. So we now have a login form. I'm going to show it to you in the incognito window. I'm going to refresh this. And here we have a really nice login form. You can customize it, place text around it, encouraging people to log in or register if they don't have an account. We can also add a registration widget over here on the side. Let's see if we have a registration widget available. Otherwise, there are to create registration, but you would usually have people register when they purchase a course. So that's a whole different flow that we're going to cover in the topic where we cover purchasing the course. Purchase a course for the first time, they create an account. They don't need to register separately. They just want to register, they buy a course. If they already have an account, they log in and then they can always buy more courses. But let's see if we have registration widget. No, we don't have a registration. We don't need a registration widget per se. So yeah, that's the login widget.
So
And-
can we quickly now look at the student dashboard?
Yes,
We probably won't have. We definitely won't have time to. We'll cover that a little bit more in the next workshop. But I say that, but we got a lot to cover with WooCommerce next. But if we can have a quick look, and we'll probably delve into the login page and the dashboard in some more detail in our upcoming workshop.
Yes.
So
we're gonna create a new page again for this, and that page would be called whatever you want, like profile, dashboard. Generally, it's a student profile page, so we just call it profile, and we publish it. And then, like with the previous ones, we're gonna go edit it with Elementor. But let's see, because this profile shortcode is supposed to work. I'm going to publish it and then view the page in a new tab. Let's close the login page and see if the profile is directly showing up using that shortcode. If it isn't showing up despite having that shortcode, then there's something really wrong with what we have installed over here. Maybe we're missing something. Yeah, this shortcode is not working for some reason. I'm going to have to debug why this shortcode isn't working, because these shortcodes work everywhere. Let's create a shortcode block.
That's good. That's Gutenberg for you, folks. There we go.
Let's add a shortcode block and add the shortcode in that block. Maybe that will help.
Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah, and update it. Maybe that's what I was doing wrong. I wasn't including it in a shortcode block. Yes. So yeah, that's what was going on. Even with the login, I've realized what was going on. And just to very quickly show you that it does work, I'm going to just copy this shortcode block and add a new shortcode block and show you that the login widget does indeed, the login shortcode does indeed work. And now we have that block as well. Let's move the login up. So you see, the login shortcode is working. It was just that we were using the wrong block, which was my bad, which wasn't a fault of the system. It was me. Okay, so now we're going to get rid of it from here. Hit this block altogether. And we're going to just update it once and then edit it with Elementor, because that's where nice things happen when you use a page builder to have full control over everything that you're building. So right here, we're just going to add a heading. That's going to be the title of our page, profile. And thing that we can do, using these dynamic tags, we can insert the student's name over here. So over here, you see user info. And in user info, we can choose first name. And in advanced, we can add what we want to appear after that first name. So I'm going to add apostrophe S profile. Sorry, instead of before, that needs to go in after. And fallback would be user's profile or user profile. And update it. And I'm going to center it the way we center every heading in this design, in this layout. And then I am going to add a let's see, is this profile the LearnDash one? Let's just take a look. If this is the LearnDash user profile widget, yes. So LearnDash gives us the user profile widget that we can add over here. And we probably want to do the same thing with it styling wise. We want to probably give it a background of, let's see, background color of this pale gray, and give it a nice pad, maybe.
Yeah, just cut back because we're coming up
not-
to time. But can you just quickly
Yeah,
go through
let me quickly wrap this up.
what the profile, what the student dashboard normally shows,
Yeah.
and just give a quick outline of how you can customize it.
All right. So I'm going to upload it, update it, and refresh this page so that it looks a bit better than what we had previously. Yeah. So this shows you all of your courses, your progress in every one of these courses, and your quiz progress. So yeah, over here you can access all of your courses, and you can expand or collapse all of them.
Right.
And
So
you can see the number of courses you enrolled in, the number of courses you completed.
I've got some quick questions before we wrap it up, Haroon. So it's showing certificates complete, but how do you, if we're going to be covering this, oh dear, Lifter, you can just use LearnDash functionality to buy the courses, or you can, which we're going to be showing in the next workshop, using WooCommerce with cart flows. Let's say we're just utilizing the inbuilt LearnDash functionality. Does it have the ability to show members, the information about have their invoice, that type?
Sorry, I lost you. I lost you there for a bit.
Yeah. Right.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I seem to have lost you, sorry.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up now, folks, and I think we're coming.
Now I can hear you properly.
Right, that's great. I think we need to wrap it up now, Haroon.
All right.
And we're going to finish this off in the next workshop, and we'll be doing a dive about WooCommerce and cart flows in the next workshop. We'll see you soon, folks. Bye.
All right. See you, everyone. Take care. Bye.